Okay, hello Jebby, it's Neo here. Let's take a look at your tank VOD. I think there's a patch tomorrow, so I'm like rushing this out. If you look in the top right, you'll see that it's 3:22 a.m. But you know what? We'll see what I can get done before I go to bed. I don't mind this. I think you do it later, so I'm not too bothered. But you can use Nem form to get out a little bit sooner, and then if you want to, when you're a little bit closer, it's like really specific, but Um, I like nem forming out of spawn immediately, and then when it probably ends right about here, but if not, you can cancel it so that way the cooldown starts, and then we can continue this way. I'm not a big fan of this shield because uh your shield is on such a long cooldown. Our main thing with Ramattra is we want to try and maximize our uptime as much as possible, and part of that is we can take some damage, we can shield, and then we can pop nem form, and then by the time we have that, we'll have shield back again. So I want us to I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to shield the widow, but I just don't think that we can still shield ourselves a little bit closer, and then we can play around things like shield dancing, so that way we can take damage for our supports to heal us and gain ult charge. And then that also is part of our increasing our uptime. Is our health is one of our resources. So our resources is Ramatra to make sure our uptime is as high as possible. Is well, we have our damage uptime and we have our health uptime. So let's talk about health uptime. Health uptime is like our actual resources, and then resources we have to mitigate damage. So the sources that we have to mitigate damage are our shield and our nemesis form, and then our nemesis form right click. Our damage resources are obviously our slow field, our primary fire, and then our pummel when we're in nemesis form, and then our ultimate. And so in order to kind of find the most uptime in both terms of damage and health, we want to make sure we're cycling our cooldowns effectively. And so that's what I'm really going to be talking about with Ramattra is how to cycle those cooldowns effectively. So one thing about increasing our damage all the time is making sure we're using our slow field. So even if you're like here, we could just throw up our crosshair a bit and then throw a slow field instead of the shield there. Because even if we do a little bit of damage, it's unlikely we even do any damage here. We'll have that on cooldown. It'll come back before when we're in engagement, and that'll help us build ult charge. I really like this damage you're doing with your primary. I like this slow field. It's nice. I think we popped Nem a little bit early. So one thing you can do with Ramattra is your what is this thing actually called? Oh shoot, it won't tell me here. Well, okay, so his weapon here, his staff, you can use all of its ammo, and then when you feel it start reloading, then we can pop Nem form, because that way we can just like fully increase our uptime by never having to reload. I don't think we reload here, but I think we Nem a little bit early because we can just finish out that clip, and then while we're getting closer to him when we finish that clip, we'll be in a better range. We're just in a little bit of an awkward range when we pop it here. This is fine though. I don't mind us. I don't mind us focusing on the Rhine instead of the Reaper here. I don't think he's doing too much. And our team is doing a lot. Yeah, when you see this, and you've done a lot of damage to him, and I love that you got this punch in before you went in. The other thing you could do is, one, immediately melee, or instead of backing up here, just keep walking into him, because we can try and get into... Wait, why did it... His shield didn't appear. But anyway, let's say he has his shield up. We can try and get in between him and his shield and then get this damage in. Or we can stay in melee range and get the melee in. So that's what I want us to do right here. It's weird it's not showing his shield. Very weird. That's our goal here. So I love that punch, but maybe even punch melee. Or then walk in so we solidify that kill. I want his slow fielding. So I would just throw it at the Reaper, if we can. And then, especially against a Reaper, I don't know if you play Winston at all. I don't necessarily think you do, but there's, like, getting used to shield dancing on any hero except Rhine is quite a good habit to get into. So I would just try and play in this Reaper's face closer, and then we can shield, and then we can try and, let's say we shield, like, let's just say this line is our shield, and then we could just play like here, and then if he pushes us, we could just go over this way, and we can get really good at making sure we're just constantly on the other side of shield than he is. So that's, I want us in a close range against Reaper when we shield. I also wouldn't be afraid to push him there. Okay, now that we've capped, I want us pushing up forward. And taking this space. Good, good, good. I don't mind the shield here. I kind of think we can take this a little bit closer. I know you're trying to protect your team from the Widow, but I find that with Ramattra shield, it's just a little bit better to be greedy with it. I want us all the way up in this corner. I really like playing aggressively because we have resources that help us get out. So what we could do is if we are too aggressive up here and our team isn't with us, which I think they're really not with us right now. Well, one, they should be, but two, we have a Life Weaver, so that means we can play even more aggressively. Like, I mean, like, right here, and then as they enter this choke, we can get a damage. It's harder for them to damage us because they have to push through the choke to get it. And then if things get too dicey, Life Weaver can pull us out, or we can pop them, and we can just try and either fully run backwards or run backwards while trying to mix in our blocks. But I want to make sure we're slow fielding a lot more, too. Because if we slow field them as they try and chase us, we get a lot of value. This is fine. I want to sting in. Yeah, we're a little lost. I just think we stay up and stay in. Especially if we have a Life Weaver, we can play a lot more aggressively because we have a kind of like get out of joke free card. I'm popping them. Yep. Good focus. I'd keep watching him. This is a good kill. I just focus on the Reaper. I think something happened here, so it's fine, but... Slow field? Good, good, good. That's not bad. If something doesn't happen to whatever you're playing on, I think we are in a better spot. I'd hold shield. I want us to use shield to, like I said, I want it to use it to increase our health uptime, so that means I want us to use it to make sure we're, like, blocking important abilities, instead of possibly helping our team, which seems a bit counterintuitive, but for instance, I would just, if we're 5, which we're not, but we should be soon, wait, where the heck is your echo? Oh, okay. So as we're waiting for our team and we're trying to get to a better engagement, we can try and go this way, and then we can shield like really aggressively right up here. So I'm trying to use shield as like, it's a mix of getting you where you want to be and like protecting you in a choke, and then also helping you in the middle of an engagement. So this time I want shields to block the damage as we try and get through the choke. So I would probably put it right here as we run through this way. There are other situations where we're already in a fight, and then we can just put it in front of us and do some shield dancing while we try and, what am I saying? Oh, get damage with our primary fire down. So I don't love this shield. I just want us to have, I use this word a lot, I want us to have a little bit more intention behind our shields. But I want us to not have as much intention around our slow fields. Just think of this as like free damage. Good. There are times when we can use our slow fields as like get out of jail free and we can use to think about it, but the cooldown is so short, I just will have it again. I also want us to have a target in mind when we pop Nemesis form. So I don't want us to use it to get to a target, I want it to follow the target after we found them. So with here, I would still keep using staff as we try and like get closer in this distance, and then when we see a target, we want to hone in on them with Nem form. So we use shield here. I don't mind the shield, I want us to use it to make sure we can get closer to them. So I would still keep going around this other side possibly, because then we can make sure we have control of this side of the drum. And then we can tone in on like the Lucio, so that way he's already closer, and then when we pop Nem, we have the speed boost, he could already be low from our staff, or we can make sure we get him with the extra speed we're getting. So field him. Yeah, I think we focus the Lucio here. And then if we slow field him right here, he immediately goes to the ground. He's going to lose a lot of speed and momentum. Oh, this is a cool still we got. And then we can get our pummels more accurate onto him by doing that. I see what you're thinking. I just want us to... I think the Lucio kill is just as valuable. This is fine. I like this. I keep punching him in all honesty. I don't want us to block unless we're like half health. I don't mind assaulting here either. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. So, I don't mind this. I wish we could have gotten this on him. That's our... I just want to make sure we're slow fielding a lot more, because then it'll like, in terms of supports, especially when they're already on this low ground, it'll stop their passive from proccing, so that way they won't get it. And then it will make them harder for them to get away from you. So like, it's unfortunate that this happens, but I think we could have also had an easier time solidifying this kill if we hit the slow field like right around here, and then we can use our primary to get her. I really don't know why he gripped you. Like, look at your health right now. But it happens. And like a slow field here to make sure the Reaper doesn't get away. I'd keep chasing him. When he's Reaper without Wraith is a very, very vulnerable target, especially to you. So I make sure that we follow him, we slow field him, and then we can finish him off with either our staff or the rest of our Hem form. But now he's gotten healed up, he's a lot more scary. I like the shield as well. Could maybe use it a bit more aggressively, a bit more forward, but that's super nitpicky. Super, super nitpicky. Slow field again. Good. Don't mind this. I kind of want us to hold shield to, in this scenario, for when they engage us, because we know Lucio's gonna come, so if we can hold it to make sure they get it. To try and slow them down. Nice. Good, slow field. Oh! You okay?
Time to save the world? Thank you. Game on!
How close were we to ult? 41? Okay.
All systems on optimal level.
Nice. So, I'm gonna be real, I prefer Ramattra on this map than D.Va, but it's still fine. I want to make sure we take top right. Yeah. Make sure we use our movement abilities out of spawn immediately. Like, especially with Koth, there's a big advantage to being fast. Koth maps are probably the ones that Lucio is the most valuable, and that's because there's so much value around being fast. These points are much easier to defend. This is interesting. I'm stuck between here. We know that this D.Va is kind of feeding right now. I think we can try and cut her off this way, and then we can also help our team by doing that. If we go around this way, we're trying to stop her from getting out again. The only other thing is that you're kind of holding off the rest of their team. Like, theoretically, your team should be able to handle this D.Va, so I don't really mind what you're doing. I want us DMing some of these shots, though. So, the same thing with D.Va in terms of, like, this is really all tanks in terms of health uptime and damage uptime. Our health uptime with D.Va is playing natural cover and playing around DM. So I don't think we take too much damage. I think it's okay. And our damage uptime is finding a target, capitalizing on them, and then using all our cooldowns on them at once. This is fine. Yeah, this is a lot of DM for this scenario, so I really want us to, when we see either this soldier or this Lucio, I want us to immediately use our boosters onto them. So when we see the Lucio do this, I want us to boosters, I want us to primary fire, and I want us to micro rockets right here, and this guy is dead. feel like you have a lot of lag, and that's also hindering your gameplay. Don't mind this? Yeah, when we find, so in this case, I just want us boosting into this diva. I'm very, very, like, Kobe talks about, like, the tempo scale and, like, draws it out and all this stuff, and it's really similar concept of, like, dive thrives when we get, like, a power spike, and Diva is a dive character, so she has this immediate power spike of boosters, primary fire, micro missiles, they're dead. So in this scenario, I really just want us to, because we have our whole team behind us, we should be okay. Even though we are a little bit low on health, if we push her, I think she starts, after the rockets, we're pretty okay to boost into her and then maybe melee while she has the DM going, while we continue to primary fire, and then she won't have any DM when we have all our rockets online. Yeah, like we use boosters there and we don't have a target that we're going for. When they have a widow, we just have grapple. This is fine. I don't mind this. After we use this initial DM, use it to get behind this left cover and then let it recharge a bit, and then we could do the exact same thing you just did here, and we're kind of like gatekeeping them when we do that. So this DM, just go fully to the left, because then we just stay here, and we, it forces us to use even more, and we take some damage. And now we have about half DM going into this engagement, now we have low DM. Now we have none. So this Diva's gonna have more defense matrix on us, and it's gonna make it a lot easier for her to win engagement than us. Also, when we see this, I like that we honed in on their supports. I don't want us to cancel our rockets. I want us to go all the way into this Ana. Just go straight into the Ana, hit your missiles, and then primary fire her, and she'll take a ton of damage. And then we'd be all the way over here, and we can kind of hide on this side if we need to, or Life Weaver will pull us out, one or the other. It's unfortunate. Remember, Diva Bomb works with LOS, so in this scenario, when we see her mech pop off, we have notification that it's there. My instinct is to go into this room to our right, actually. Wait, what the heck? It's like skipping a part. Okay. Yeah, my instinct is to just go onto that Lucio, even though he's booped us, because now he doesn't have boop either. And then we can, essentially use all of our cooldowns on him as well. And we won't get hit with the Diva Bomb. Yeah, do you play on controller? I ask these mostly as hypotheticals, but people tend to answer them anyway. It's fine. I like that we're constantly at this doorway. Lucio, you see him? Nice. Don't worry too much about, I feel like we're DMing a lot when we could be damaging. So don't worry too much about DM if we still have our orange health. If we still have our orange health, we're in a pretty decent spot. I don't mind this. Ana doesn't have a nade. We can push her. Nice. I like this. This is unfortunate now. Yep. Go to disengage. Pushes Ana. Shift into her too. Your boosters your damage as well. No matter how little it is, just the displacement can really mess up her aim. And we'll get the extra damage in. That could possibly be the final blow. Yeah. I want us to make sure we're rocketing here too. So I like that we identified the Ana. Just try not to hold your DM so much. Try and flick it because we're constantly out. So our our resource management with defense matrix is a little rough. So when we're here, she can just wait out your cooldown. If you make it kind of sporadic and we push in a lot of damage to her, you're gonna force out her cooldown instead. I like this disengage. Good job. Good identification. I like this push. I like this a lot. Nice. Good, solid kill. Oh, we almost got that too. Someone is backing out. Yep, this is good. Yeah, we just need to disengage again. Good. Good DM for your Kiriko. Good DM for yourself. I want us to let it charge a little bit, and then it's fine. We used rockets at a bit of an unoptimal range. So I'm saying either we wait for DM, and then we can rocket here so we get ult charge, or if you're gonna engage, because we still have orange health, so we're in a pretty good spot, we boost her in on this Lucio and then get rockets. We get a lot of value out of splash damage on these things, which means we want him to be against the floor, and we can kind of boop him into the floor with our boosters. And we'll be a lot more accurate if we can splash it against himself too. I don't mind us playing really aggressively because we have bomb now, so just go into their supports. Cool, unfortunate. I don't mind this. Are you okay? It's good. Nice. Yeah, even in this scenario, we don't necessarily need the DM. It's a little bit of like, I think you just keep primary firing. Yep, fully go for her. Now rockets her. Yeah, nice. We're okay here. We see the Ana. Good identification. Push her. Keep engaging on this Ana. I want us to play in a melee range a lot of the times. So as soon as she gets this way, just boost into her again. Keep meleeing her. Or in melee, I don't mean physically melee her, I mean like get in that melee range and then keep firing our shotguns. Now we need to identify the soldier. Very good. Rockets him too. He dies without the fire if we just rocket him. So we're very we need to hone in on a target here. If you look, we're like really looking all over the place a bit. So I want us to find a target, lock in on him. This case is probably going to be Lucio based off of where we're looking. But then I want us to follow him and worry less about DM. We have Tree of Life. We're in a really good position health-wise. We don't have anything we're really scared of on their team. So just keep using all your abilities on Lucio, and then if you get low while you're chasing him, then we can use DM. Because we're losing a lot of damage uptime. And we all know Ana doesn't have an ability. We can push her. Nice. Rockets. Yeah, we kill her a lot faster if we use our micro missiles after we dive in. We go in on her. This is fine. Nice. Good job. Yeah, so I liked your Ramattra a little bit more than your Diva, but I think if you just you're very, very close to getting the right stuff with Diva. I see you like honing in on the right people, and then you just kind of lose them, or you don't necessarily have the like immediate like push onto them. So I really want us to like, let's say we're on Diva, and we see their supports there and their tanks there. I really want us to just do this, and then they're dead. I think I killed the wrong one, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, we'll say the same thing. That's tank, that's support. Just go in, and then use all our abilities on them. and try really, really hard not to lose them. Okay?
Wow.
They'll blow up if we're this close, we do a ton of damage. If we're even this close, we're doing a lot less damage. I did a pretty clean, you know what, I'll do it with this too. So we're at 10 meters away, okay? 0, 5, 10 meters away. Takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots to kill the bot when I'm headshotting him, okay? If I'm 5 meters away, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 3 more shots. It's way faster. If we're rocketing from this distance, I hit all of them, so this is probably going to be about the same. Yeah, it's the same because I hit all of them. But let's say he's actually like strafing and stuff, it's going to be a lot harder. And then we can get a lot easier shots than here, than we're peppering it over this distance. So I really want us to try and make sure we're in this range, and that means we can use our boosters to make sure we're in that range. And then on the off chance we ever get low, that's when we DM. Or we can try and flick it if we know an ability is going to show up, in which case, like, we push this Ana, she's used nade, kind of thing. Like, she's gonna try and sleep us after a second, but we can try and, like, play smarter about it. So instead of going in like this, we can, go in and then flick it when we think she's gonna use it. And if we get slept, so be it. We have, 500 health, she's not gonna kill us. If we don't get slept, that's also fine. Beautiful. So I hope that helps, and yeah, have a good one.